failing has become critical in my growth. I'd fallen so flat on my face for the first time in my life. I was depressed, asking myself why me? How can this happen? I work so hard. Hard work pays. I always thought. It's not paying for me. I got nothing. I literally had $7 in my pocket, so my $7 story. That failure. Rising from that to say, it's not over for me. I'm immediately going to launch myself into training for professional wrestling. I couldn't have launched myself with that type of training that I did every day for hours in a boxing ring that was stiff like concrete. Every day for hours. I couldn't have launched myself with that type of mentality had I not fallen on my face after 10 years of football. Failed. A failed football player who wound up moving back in with his parents at 24.
You're moving from point A to point B in your little circumscribed world. You've made everything invisible, and as long as that works, then your theory's good enough. It's accurate enough. It's true enough. You're in your little paradise. But if something comes up and objects, well, that's where your character is tested fundamentally. That's the character test. It's like, what do you do with messages of error?
Don't second guess yourself, and don't be so afraid of failing that you create excuses instead of producing results.
Failure is designed to teach you a lesson. Keep pushing forward and learn from the failures and move forward with a purpose.
Because you can look up and days, weeks, months, years can go by and you can go, I've been tiptoeing around here, not committing to anything for so long, I'm missing out. Sometimes it's not even about what choice we make. Just make a choice and commit to it and go and dive in.
You're all right, man. You're okay. Learn from it. Don't dwell on it. Move on and go do something really positive in the world.
Opportunity is everywhere, but I need you to grow up and be ready for this opportunity. Maturity is knocking. Wisdom is knocking. You are stronger now. You are wiser now. It's time for you to answer the call with your chest stuck out. It's time for you to answer the call with your head held high. Will you keep delaying a better life? You gonna keep letting everybody pass you by? Why not you? Come on, why not you?
No sunrise without a sunset. There are no roses without rain. If you can remember that, then you will always see adversity as advantage and obstacle as opportunity. Know this, that your process may be messy, but your mess will become your message.
You can't just stay still. You can't just stay neutral. You have to continue to evolve. But you gotta rise up right now, and you gotta understand that you are powerful, and you gotta focus on your it.
You can, you will, you must never give up. The moves that you make will echo throughout the ages, as there is a generation of people who are attached to your why. And if you don't succeed, they'll never believe. So make it happen.
Falling down doesn't mean you stay down. You're not done. You're just living. You're hurting, but you're still living. You got some setbacks, but you're still living. You have to think about your past. Maybe that's something that you need to do to remind you of what you're going through right now, so that maybe the future may be even better for you. You may come to a point in your life and said, I remember when I did this and I remember when I did that. Remember, it's a memory. It's something that happened in the past. The past can't do nothing for you, but you gotta focus on the right now and hope that your future will be beautiful for you. But even in your future, that doesn't mean that you won't have more unique challenges. Falling down. Why?
Am I supposed to hurt like this? Am I supposed to go through all of these challenges? Am I supposed to feel all of this agony? Why? What did I do to deserve this? Who did I hurt so bad that I have to go through so much pain? What did I do wrong? The only thing that you're doing right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that you're living. And when you're living, there's gonna be challenges. When you're living, there's gonna be struggles. When you're living, there's gonna be sorrow. When you're living, you're gonna get angry sometimes. But guess what? What good is it if it's not putting you in the position you need to be?
You are not a loser. You are a winner. Every time you fall, you don't have to think about it. You have to know that you gotta get up.
It's not meant to be easy. Let today be the day that you pay your price, that you do what's necessary to push on.
The real challenge is performing when you are under pressure. The real challenge is showing up when you don't feel like showing up. There is no getting around confronting your fears. There is no getting around holding yourself accountable.
Can we understand that we do matter? Can we understand that there's something that must be done?
Despair won't move the needle forward. You can't settle for staying where you are. You are not a victim. You are an overcomer.
The world can't control you.
You've got to stay focused on your mission. Ask yourself this question. Are my feelings helping me or hindering me?
Find your true purpose.
You gotta make it happen. Can't nobody else do it for you. You're in charge of your it. Every day the clock is ticking. Every year the calendar moves. Your it cannot be delayed forever. Your it gotta start with your first step. Your it gotta start with your first move. Matter of fact, it begins in your mind. It is your dreams. It is your purpose. It is your future.
There are three types of people in this world. There are people who watch things happen. There are people who wonder what happened. And there are people who make things happen. You got to determine which person you are. You can make a wish, or you can make it happen. You must first believe that you can, that you will, that you must, when you are no longer willing to tolerate being in the room of failure. Then that's when you're going to break free.
Are you going to rise and go higher and go stronger than you ever did in your life? Or you're going to look in the mirror and see that image and realize that you are more than the image in the mirror?
There's enough fire inside of you. After everything you have been through, you've got to be able to see your value.
Are you going to realize that it is time for you to step up and make it happen? Or you're going to put aside all your doubts and fears? Or you're going to be strong enough to go forward? Or you're going to allow weakness to tell you that you don't have what it takes to make it happen?
There is no one like you in all of the earth. There is no one that can do what you can do. You are the only option. You are the only play. Nobody else is going to be able to do this. When you get that in your head that you are the only one that is going to be able to do this, that nobody's going to give you a handout, that you have to make this happen, that every room you walk into, you show up and you show out and you leave it all on the table.
We don't have time to second guess. It's time for you to rise up, and it's time for you to make that first step. It's time for you to start grinding so that you can make it happen.
You got to make it happen. At the end of the day, you got to be strong. At the end of the day, you got to push forward. You got to fight forward. You got to make it happen.
You must accept this truth, that you were born for such a time as this, and that at this very moment, all you have is all you need. Make it happen.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Fail big. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life, and it can be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there, and you only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances professionally. Don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. I try to give myself a goal every day. Sometimes it's just to not curse somebody out. Simple goals, but have goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline, which you have already done, and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it. Hard work works. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. I don't care how much money you make, you can't take it with you. The Egyptians tried it. They got robbed. That's all they got. You can't take it with you. And it's not how much you have. It's what you do with what you have. We all have different talents. Some of you will be doctors, some lawyers, some scientists, some educators, some nurses, some preachers. The most selfish thing you can do in this world is help someone else. Why is it selfish? Because the gratification, the goodness that comes to you, the good feeling that I get from helping others, nothing's better than that. Well, one or two things, but nothing's better than that. Not jewelry, not big house I have, not the cars, but it's the joy. That's where the joy is, in helping others. That's where the success is. And anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Remember that. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress. My mother told me, she said, yeah, because you can run in place all the time and never get anywhere. So continue to strive, continue to have goals, continue to progress.
The late, great Muhammad Ali said, if my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it. If you can't stand the heat, get your butt out the kitchen. It's about what you're made of, not your circumstances. See, losers, they visualize the penalties of failure, while winners visualize the rewards of success. What's your mindset like? Are you the type to lose and go crawl in a hole? Are you the type to suffer a setback? Are you the type to suffer a failure and never ever try again? The great Pele said, success is no accident. It's hard work, it's perseverance, it's learning, it's studying, it's sacrifice, and most of all, it's love for what you're doing or what you're learning to do. Do you have the mindset of a champion? Because most people have the will to win, but few people have the will to prepare to win. See, it's the little things done consistently over and over again that prepare you to do the little things that lead to the big wins and the championship rings in the end. Champions, the true champions, never get bored with the fundamentals because they understand that in the key moments, in the clutch moments, it's the fundamentals that will carry them to victory. It's also the heart. It's the determination. It's the will. It's the passion. It's the drive. What drives you? The GOAT, the great Michael Jordan, used to create things. He used to make up stuff that his opponents would do. They never even did it, but he would make it up so he could have a drive, he could have a passion, he could have a reason, he could have a why to go give them every ounce of his being. What drives you? What's your reason? Why do you get up and pursue greatness? If you're pursuing greatness at all, you gotta have the mindset of a champion if you want to emerge victorious. If you don't give anything, don't expect anything. Success is not coming to you. You must come to it. Why do you think we always say you gotta chase greatness? Most champions, they're not in love with training. They're not in love with all the hard work, but they understand that if they suffer now, if they invest in being the best, the legacy of a champion awaits. If you want to really go deep into the mindset of a champion, you'll understand that champions, they love to win, but they love the hunt. They love the pursuit. And they understand that the greatness of a true champion is measured not always by how many times they won, but how many times they got knocked down, how many times they were counted out, how many times they were left for dead and dug deep. And like a magician, they pulled a rabbit out of their hat and made the impossible possible, made the unbelievable believable, and emerged victorious. A true champion is someone who gets up even when everyone else thinks he can't, even when everyone else thinks she can't. When you have the mindset of a champion, you wake up and say to yourself, this is a great day to win.
until their own minds and mouth betray them. Many of those around you won't. Be able to see your dream, but you don't need them to see it in order for it to happen. All you need is a set of your own eyes that do. Knowing how to do something right isn't enough. The greats are great because they forgot how to ever do it wrong. Before a sickness can get your body, it must first get your mind. The doors that haven't opened in your life are value locked doors. Meaning the doors of opportunity that you have waited for so long to open will not open until you first embrace your self-worth and see your true value. Every day, live towards the pursuit of success requires dedication, discipline, and resiliency. For victory to be materialized, one must dive deep into the belly of failure and snatch it away with undeniable will. Clinging to the shores of safety and comfort denies one the glory of conquering the seas. Leave your cowardice on the beach and, like the bold captains of legend, sail directly into the vast ocean of greatness. Success is war, and sometimes a very costly one. To be victorious, one must be willing to shed their own blood, sweat, and tears upon the battlefield of days until destiny waves the white flag of surrender. The master key that unlocks all bondage is hidden in the mind of the one who thinks they're enslaved. Words, no matter how beautifully said or written, will always place second to the art of action. All the great men and women of history at some point in their life decided to be great. Decision is the womb that action is birthed out of. Doubt and pessimism are both malicious thought perspectives that seek to derail the birth of greatness. Those who believe in limitations have succumbed to the madness of illusions. Those who desire to be uncommon must first deal with the insanity of their common sense. sense. A dream must be pulled into reality with the hands of unwavering belief. The struggles and difficulties of life are just arrogant mountains daring us to climb them. To accomplish big things, one must burn with passion when doing what the common person sees as small things. Greatness hides itself under the rocks of the simple and insignificant. Clarity is the monster that devours all opposition. You must see yourself with such awareness that it makes your dream inevitable. The awakened one dreams away his life, unhindered by the world's illusion of limitations. He is fully conscious of his inner power to mold and shape the seen world. His dreams and creative imagination become the commands that dictate to the physical realm. Reality responds obediently to the desires thrust upon it, manifesting the grand will of the enlightened mind. It's not what you don't know that's holding you back. It's what you do know and aren't applying. Destiny is birthed out of the sweat of today. The more one talks about their problems, the less energy they will have to overcome them. Greatness hides at the bottom of insanity. One must be willing to dive into the belly of madness to swim in the impossible. Every time the world gives you a no, there's a success coin that goes into your account. And when you get enough of those denials, then and only then can you purchase greatness. Self-awareness requires trading in one's mortal eyes for eternal ones. And with these eyes, no matter which way one looks, all that can be seen is God, blessed and unstoppable. Success is a marathon of consistency, walked out one day at a time. Now faith was never designed to be passive. We ought to be aggressive, even in the waiting. How bad do you want it? When your why for overcoming is greater than the obstacle ceases to exist. Breakthroughs are engineered from the inside out. Breakthroughs happen when you begin to ask yourself the right questions. Refuse to give time, energy, or focus to things that don't belong in your future. Every challenge has a mindset required to overcome it. Your mouth is a creative weapon, not a tool for distributing excuses. The struggle is real, but so is the God that'll help you overcome it. The lies of the enemy cannot hide in an environment of truth. A prayer wrapped in doubt is not a prayer, that's a wish, and it has no power. The three things God always responds to are faith, love, and forgiveness. Love is the power, and it changes everything it touches. God is love, and what is not of love is not of God. We are blessed and unstoppable. Happiness chases those who master the art of forgiveness. Never look at defeat as permanent, but see it as a temporary gestation period from which a greater victory will be born. Truth does not discriminate. She blesses all who embrace her. Thoughts and behaviors consistently aligned with success will eventually give birth to the outcomes that create it. Wisdom has not been fully accepted until it is consistently applied. The quickest way to overcome failure is to starve yourself of the thoughts and actions that allow it to sustain itself. Begging doesn't move God. Faith does. Faith is the only language spoken in heaven. Everything else is gibberish. When you master the things under your control, the uncontrollable eventually becomes irrelevant. Faith, mind, and the spoken word are the three most powerful things in existence, and when united in truth, nothing can prevail against them. Truth is the chiropractor of the mind. Forgiveness is dialysis for the soul. Change will only happen when you initiate it. A disciplined mind rooted in truth can do the impossible. Your mindset is the thermostat that sets the tone for every environment that you enter. You cannot walk through the door of God's blessing still carrying every wrong done to you in the past. What doubt murdered, faith can resurrect. The way you think today will manufacture. future, what you experience tomorrow. Your life comes directly off the assembly line of your mind. To give up on a dream is to commit an abortion on a life one could have had. The devil will always go to war at the point of expansion. Every place that you can grow, thrive, or multiply, the enemy will attack. There's a mindset required to see opportunity. Can you see it? One thought can change the momentum and trajectory of your whole life. You're just one thought away from greatness. Success is about positioning. Getting up every day and doing the right things will eventually put you in position to win. Your future is too important to be held hostage by fear. Your life right now is the fruit of your previous thoughts and belief systems. Unforgiveness is the #1 thing hindering most people's success. Broken focus is the #1 reason for failure. Success requires understanding every aspect of your opponent, and the best way to do that is to look in the mirror. Big changes start with small steps. True faith is to laugh at any evidence, challenge, or obstacle that runs contrary to that which you are believing for. Let nothing derail your progress. To be successful, you must find ways to stay consistent, even when drama, chaos, and unforeseen circumstances arise, because they will. Stay ready, warrior. Breakthroughs require embracing the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Your success potential will always be equivalent to the level that you're willing to be uneasy. Greatness stalks perseverance. Success is governed by the law of supply and demand. The universe will supply whatever your faith demands. Someone with real faith needs no external validation. They just own the dream with absolute belief. Opportunity will always find the person who refuses to quit. It's your faith, not your circumstances, that destiny bows to. Those brave enough to dive into the dark unknown to achieve their dream shall see the world begin to move and shift to bring about the circumstances required to call that dream out of the abyss and into the light. I'm Dr. Billy Allsbrooks, and I am blessed and unstoppable. Motivational art. Welcome to the Louvre. Impact 1 billion. And to God be the glory.